Speaking of YouTube people looking to make some cashola, look, here is, now I'm not familiar with Katie Hopkins, but let's just...
Daily Mail.
Okay, she's from the Daily Mail. Let's just do this the reverse way. Let me just approach this like I'm someone watching YouTube, and I don't know anything about this, and I'm going to watch Dave Rubin's program because I want to expand my mind and the litany of ideas. Let me see. Oh, she seems pretty hip. She's got purplish hair, and my understanding is that Dave Rubin, he's actually married to someone of his own sex, and so he's probably pretty forward-thinking too. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my YouTube channel with my clicker. There we go.
Funny, I know it would be virtually impossible to offend you, but I suppose if I was to say, well, I tweeted something out that I'm having on, and less people were upset, that actually might offend you, because you'd be like, shit, well, maybe I'm not doing my job properly.
No, I think things have changed a little.
But I think that shows
pause
that...
it. 1 second. Oh, I get it. She's an iconoclast, and her job is to stir things up. I'm all for that.
That reason, in a way, is working. Because people are getting less outraged by hearing some common sense stuff. I look at your Twitter sometimes.
Pause it.
Like, yeah.
Oh, wait a second. She's just talking common sense. And fortunately, we're making progress because people aren't getting upset about it.
Sense stuff. I look at your Twitter sometimes and I'll go, maybe she said that in a little way that I wouldn't have said it. Or this. Yeah, it's just not exactly how I operate.
No, of course.
But I never, from what I've never seen blatant racism or anti-Semitic stuff, or Islamophobia is not a word, but I really haven't seen that.
No,
hold on for 1 second. I want to check this. No blatant racism. Okay, check that box off. I'm in favor of that. Oh, no blatant anti-Semitism. Well, I'm in favor of that. I'm Jewish. And of course, no...
Subtle's negotiable.
No Islamophobia. Of course, that's a made-up word. I don't even know what that means. So, okay, so far so good. At least as far as what Dave has seen. So, at least, and I don't know. I presume if he's going to have somebody on his show and make that statement, I'm sure he's checked it out quite a bit. But let's keep watching because I want to see. She's really on the hot seat here. Hold on, let me see.
Islamophobia is not a word, but I really haven't seen that.
No, it's not the truth.
So are you not a bigoted, racist, Islamophobic, homophobic?
I don't mind, I say go for it. Like, if you like labels, go for it. If you can add an ist onto something and make me it, if that's your hobby, go crazy. Like, you're probably at home, you probably still live with your mom, you're probably in her spare room, your keyboard is definitely sticky, maybe give it a wipe sometime if you're really bored with your life. Like, you probably still, like, floss your teeth with your own toenails and eat your own earwax. I don't mind, but you're going to call me a racist, a fattist, love that one, an Islamophobe, whatever. I believe I'm none of those things. I can show you and demonstrate to you through argument, through what I do, through the stories that I've told, the columns I've written, I'm none of those things. I understand that if you lack the vocabulary and the intellect to be able to take me down with an argument, you think a label will suffice. What you will have seen over 10 years of throwing those labels at me is that I still haven't really shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. She's not going to be intimidated by those fat jack-off people who think that she's that. Oh, well, I got to say, I really appreciate Dave introducing me to this British lady with the purple hair. She's pretty good. I'm going to head over to her Twitter feed and just... Ramadan typically brings a spike in violence in the Middle East. I get grumpy when I don't eat, but I don't blow things up. Religion of peace? ? Ha! That's not blatant. Thank God
funny.
Islamophobia doesn't exist. My column calling for action in France from Mail Online here soon. We must not heal. We must not mend. It's time to get intolerant of Islam. It's weird. All right. If you follow a religion where your imaginary prophet is a pedophile, I suspect you think it's okay to rape young white girls too. Bastards. Now that's a little bit weird. Hold on for a second. Can we go back there? Now, I get the idea of people being skeptical of religion. I think a lot of it's made up, and I consider myself a follower of religion. But I don't get the connection between why, if a prophet being a pedophile. Now, my understanding back in those days, all the people who were involved were in their teens, I think. But be that as it may, she garners that if you are a follower, now maybe that's a religion she's not talking about, but I suspect, since I've done a little noodling around on the non-Islamophobic, because that's not a word, sites, there's a big, strong push that Muhammad was a pedophile. So I suspect she's talking about Islam. And she thinks it's okay for you think it's okay to rape young white girls too. Interesting. I would. Why white girls?
Whoa.
Because of all the white girls used to hang around in the
Ancient
Middle
Arabia.
East. Down when
Muhammad would
Muhammad-
import Viking girls to rape because he was an imaginary prophet.
Of course.
I'm just trying to have
I
an
get
open
it.
exchange of ideas here.
I get it.
But Jesus would have treated and did treat Muslims very nicely.
We need a final solution. That's weird. Where have I heard that before? I remember. Is that your final answer? But that was how to
Spell
become a millionaire.
Manchester right.
Palestinians busy knifing Israelis. Two-state solution. My Arth. Filthy rodents burrowing beneath Israel. Time to restart the bombing campaign. Interesting. Okay, so click on that mass punishment. Father beats daughter with an iron bar, but he's a good Muslim, prays in his cell and attends the mosque. So that's all happy days then. I mean, I guess I could see someone writing that about Christianity and whatnot, but
It's a little rando.
I don't know. I guess maybe Dave didn't see those tweets.
I think that Dave, just to be fair, even though we are an opinion-driven show, is so immersed in sort of like the deep work that he does in ideas and really thinking about complicated subjects and
Do you get caught up in the public statements of the guests? that
reading
he's
about reading about classic liberalism as an example, that he doesn't really have time to do background research.
I
on
watched
people that
the Pac-Man Dave Rubin conversation.
was Rubin sort of like less than informed when they talked about public policy, possibly?
Well, he the funny thing is that he doesn't like to get into the nitty-gritty of stuff, but he will offer an opinion on it, and then when it's wrong, he will try and like very deftly change the subject. There were two. The first one I can't remember. Well, I mean, of course, his whole healthcare thing is just completely befuddling. He's for single payer, but also thinks we should shrink the size of government. He also believes in
That's a Tommy Lauren position, though.
right, of course, and
Right.
Almost.
Similar intelligence levels there.
And my favorite moment from it, and David Pacman is not as aggressive as I am, right? I'm just like personality wise,
Right.
and there are some things that Pacman says he agrees with Dave Rubin on. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he did say when Dave Rubin said, like, we need to cut taxes, and he said, well, you and I are both small businessmen, we could cut taxes, we could hire more people. And Pacman was like, well, I don't understand that. I mean, I assume that you have some type of pass-through vehicle, which is probably like an LLC or an S corp, and that that your pre-tax dollars. I mean, you invest. Your capital is all pre-tax dollars. In fact, if you had higher taxes, you would be more inclined to invest your money to drive your profits. And he was like, well, yeah, I just think the problem is that people come at you on Twitter and blah, blah.
He's so stupid. You know what I like? That's exactly his game, is that he first like makes some extravagant policy claim and he obviously knows nothing. And then
he just repeats back to colleges. You can't you can't do gay bets on
That's
colleges.
the next move. He's like, hey, look, you might be right that I completely misconstrued how the entire social safety net works. But did you know that there was a math teacher somewhere who used as an example in a problem a girl getting a bikini wax, and he got disciplined for doing that? We're just losing freedom.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos